So a few announcements before we get started. From time to time, we get questions about where's the Zoom link for the meeting? So just a couple of reminders that the best place to find the Zoom links, if you want them right away, is in the Groups.io calendar. If you've never been there, next time you open up Groups.io, you have to, of course, log in. You can't access it from your email client. You have to log into Groups.io, but within there, there's a calendar that has all the events that are in the timetable or on the Groups.io calendar, including the Zoom links, which are placed there generally at the beginning of the month for really our two meetings, which are the gathering or bull session, and then the general meeting. You can always find the Zoom links there. And if you go there and they're not there after the first of the month, kindly let us know, because occasionally it's a manual process. Occasionally we get distracted and forget. So you also receive a reminder in Groups.io 24 hours before, which would be 2 o'clock on Friday, and 5 hours before on Saturday. You get an email reminder sent through Groups.io. So reminder about Zoom links. One final reminder, and that's we've sent already several reminders out. Well, we've only had a smatter of volunteers so far for the train show and sale. So if you can help out with a train show and sale, please send an email to either myself or Division 8 Gmail account with whether you can help on Friday night at 7:30, Saturday morning to help the dealers unload, or the tear down on Saturday afternoon. And then we're ready to start the gathering today. And I think there's been a presenter's change. Is that right, Russell?
Yes.
You want to go ahead, Russell, and
Okay.
take her away?
Okay. For those of you who have not been to the house and seen the layout, I have three major staging areas, New York, Cleveland, and Detroit. And like most people, the most popular way of having your trains go from the layout to staging are either one, a tunnel like we have over in Albany to take, which is more of a hilly, mountainous area that takes the trains to New York staging, or the city overpass. This happens to be the two mains that go to Cleveland staging. So what we'd like to talk about today is our progress on the little town of Dunkirk, New York. We picked that because of the size, and it is west of Buffalo and east of Erie, Pennsylvania. So it seemed like a kind of a nice ring to it. So the Dunkirk is a kind of a unique corner of the layout where the view block across here, the view block across here to go into staging is a 90-degree. And then the wall, the backdrop curves around like this. So we kind of have to do a little bit of fudging with our buildings off to the right. And I wanted to do a little something to soften up the 90-degree back here. This is the way Dunkirk started out. Most all of these buildings are left over from the old layout. So, but it was a good way to kind of start things off. So what I did is I just put a little bit of a hill in the back to try to soften the 90-degree corner. And again, the reason why it didn't, we couldn't take the hill in the back was right up in here is the backdrop wall. So I know many of you know that Stan White uh, did the background painting, uh, all the hills and mountains over in Albany. And since Buffalo is relatively flat, you know, what we did was have him then continue just a little bit of backdrop painting so that it blended in with the little hill back here. So that was a good start. But let me also say that right below the corner here is the starting of the ladder for the Cleveland staging. So I wanted to make Dunkirk available to lift out so that if by any chance we needed to do any repairs to the turnouts, that we could get to them. So the little hill that I made back here is not attached to the wall, but just attached to some masonite. So we wanted to go ahead and soften this up a little bit more. And so it was suggested that we go ahead and plant some trees back there. And the trees and a little bit more of the ground foam kind of hid the fact that the original little hill wasn't touching the backdrop. So Stan planted, these were a number of, pardon me, trees that Bob Kukler had made. So Stan planted those. And then it was also suggested, again, to kind of keep your eye and give it depth, is to put a fence up. So we did that. And then another suggestion was, how about some utility poles? Again, to keep your eye coming away from the corner there, and to keep giving it depth to the little scene. So here, as you can see with the buildings now put in front, that the trees and the utility poles sticking out are a nice touch to, again, give it depth, and you just don't see the 90-degree corner or the one little lump of hill back there. So then this was back midsummer that Bob Kukler was over, and he said, you know, I've done so many buildings on mine. I'd like to, if you'd like, I'd like to do some for you. So knowing his good work, I said, sure. And I finally figured it out that, as many of you know, that a lot of the buildings are just halfway constructed, so that when we have ops, that it gives somebody, oh, there's the building, there's, you know, you can see how it kind of shaping up. But I figured out that if the guys that come over enough times that they get sick and tired of seeing the buildings, and they suggest to do them for me. So anyway, so the Whistle Stop Cafe was the first one that Bob did, and it is a small town building. I can't remember the exact kit name or number, but they're pretty well similar. And he went ahead and took over, did the painting, did the shades, made the different signage here, this, and then very simply, but enough to look in and see something, that he made little, well, sorry about that, gang. He made some little tables and the tablecloths. So it really is nice that you can look in, and it gives that a little depth. Also, since he knew that we weren't going to use the back of the building, that he took some pieces from the backside and made this little outtake here. So it made the building, very unique and everything. A nice touch. Over to the left is one of the old Magnuson buildings that originally 20 years ago or so, Walters offered. That was a resin kit. And in the last couple of years, they've brought a number of those back in styrene. It's a very simple kit, you know, 4 walls and some glass, no base, no interior, but you can see where, again, Bob took over, you know, made the sign, put in the shades and the drapes, made this signage, did all the different painting. Again, these kits are just one molded in one color, and it's all one mold. So it's not like some other kits where the window frames and everything you can paint first and put in there. So this little building, he did a lot of work on. The next one, this is again an old Magnuson kit. This is Flowers by Terry kit, and I'll have a different shot of this, and you can see where again Bob did made the awning signage. In this one, since it's more of a office building, put the Venetian blinds and everything. So again, made it very very unique. This is the again through Walters, the White Owl grocery store, or I think it was a grocery store, or appliance store. And but again, Bob took this. You can see did the little touching of the different color bricks. Again, different signage here and everything, and made it a very unique model. So this is something pretty neat again on this building, where I think you all know that Stan White, our Stan White, retired from Realty, and Bob Googled a bunch of stuff, and evidently there is this Stan White utility and realty and construction company around the Boston, Massachusetts area, and you know, did all the magic, printed it, and made this sign and this sign for it. So that was you know, pretty neat. And I know a lot of us. There's you know, the World War II, some drawing painting of a B-24 with the tail on fire, which kind of reminds me of this. But this is a Lockheed Constellation, but the sun's setting and the clouds here are just dark, and it reminds me of that painting. But anyways, Bob found this, made the sign, and the constellation. I don't know if many of you know that we try to target my era of about 1953. So this would be the perfect plane for that era. So it's pretty neat that he found that. This started out as a DPM. The front was just they have about 3 different just fascias that they can have for false fronts. They have no sides or back. But a few years ago, Jim Petro was in town, and this particular area needed a very special shape. You just didn't want to put a square building in there because it wouldn't look right. So again, these are different DPM sections from other buildings that Jim took and made this diagonal corner on the side here that fits in this area very nicely. And then Bob took over and again did a marvelous job of painting, put the fire escapes on it, some roof detail and everything, and some faded signs. So again, it makes it a very nice building. So here's Dunkirk the way we started out, and you can see the building that we just talked about here, the White Owl building, the Dick's barbershop, which was now moved here, and we moved this around. And one of the things that I had these pretty well where they fit pretty well. When Bob made the bump out here for the Whistle Stop Cafe, the net didn't fit, and then I decided that this building no longer kind of worked its way in here. So we've kind of played musical buildings, but this is what Dunkirk looks like now. I told Bob that I'd kind of finish off these buildings a little bit, but there's still some more we have to work on, and obviously the sidewalk and the road still needs to be done. But you can see from this shot that the way the stands backdrop painting and you know, just the little tops of the trees on the hill there, the utility poles again kind of makes that 90-degree corner kind of go away. So, and here's what it looks like as trains are approaching the city and then going into Cleveland staging. So that's all I got on that. There's still more work to do, but if anybody has any questions or comments or thoughts, this is the time.
Take it away, Fred.
Well, hello, and this won't sound quite the same, but live from Cocoa Beach, Florida, it's Saturday afternoon. So why am I down here? Well, it's the Prototype Rails 2022 RPM meet in Cocoa Beach, and I'm kind of halfway down here advertising Indy Junction 2022 and enjoying myself quite a bit. I'm going to take you inside, show you the exhibitor room and well, not contest, but model display area. That's about all I'm going to do. I will tell you that we started out Thursday evening, about 8 o'clock, I guess, was the first clinic going on, and it'll wrap up tonight. The last event tonight starts at 10:30. Oh my goodness, really? 10:30? Yes, 10:30 tonight. They've had over 70 clinics. I've attended several, not every session, because I've spent some time again talking to exhibitors and so forth. But names that you might recognize: Stephen Priest, Lance Midheim, Mont Switzer as well. So I spent a little bit of time with Mont this afternoon. He was showing some recent work. So let's get in here and show you what's going on. I'm going to flip the camera around. There we go. All righty. So
I haven't done it.
I'm going to start right here. And Ron, if the sound goes down, if it's too quiet, you just holler at me, okay? But this is one of the people we're working on getting to come to, or one of the groups we're getting to come to Indy Junction. And they are all about photos and slides and so forth. So if you're looking for a specific prototype, something you want to model, oh my goodness. And this table just goes on and on and on down there. So let me move around here. And there's Shane Wilson. You know Shane. Shane's probably going to be at Indy Junction also. So we've and everything from the mundane of scenery to super detailing and, oh my goodness, rivet cutting on stuff. And as you do the display and vendor room, what do you see first? All the scale train stuff. And I've been talking to Shane and Michelle both about coming to Indy Junction. It looks like they probably will be there in conjunction with some others. I'll put some information together and do a quick article for Mr. Dawson as well. But right here on this very table, they had handouts, and the handouts were detail parts and under frames and doors. Oh, and a nice cake as well the other day when we came in. So I'll show you some of the work going on here. Just a little bit of, oh, and by the way, this is scratch built. Oh. Yeah, not the drivers, okay? But yeah, it's a little bit of detail there. Oh my goodness. And of course, all the plans to go with it. And all the detailed paperwork. Oh my goodness. Awfully nice looking caboose there. You guys zoom in on that for a moment. Come on around here. Now, I heard a brief story about this pair of locomotives. They were not scratch built, but they were given to the individual who worked on them. And they were pretty much a basket case. Really pretty bad shape. He doesn't do O-scale, wasn't interested in, but just like Russ, he knew a guy. And I'd say the guy did a pretty decent job on him. You guys might agree on that. So let me jump across here a little bit. Nice bright line train. For us modern area guys, little large for my HO scale stuff, but not bad. I love the weathering on that roof though. Love the weathering on that roof. And speaking of weathering, it may seem extreme, but in most cases over here, they've actually got photos hanging around where you can compare and say, yep, that's pretty close. Tons of open loads. We'll get into some more on the back side over there as well. Love how they've got all the scatter on this bulkhead flat car here as well. You know, we usually model them pretty clean or with a load. We usually don't see all that scatter of junk, old dunnage on there, but I think that's pretty darn cool. And just kind of come out here a little bit, show you some of the models here.
That's me.
Hey, how are you doing? Is that you?
It is me.
Hey, and you are the no-name guy. You know, we're talking to a group back in Louisville, Kentucky.
We are.
Yes, we are.
Louisville, Kentucky.
Yeah, so you're a Bob.
I am Bob.
Okay.
Thoroughbred RR Models.
Oh, yes. Tell us a little bit about these.
What did you like to know? This car is turned on its side because these are the outlet gates that are correct for Intermountains cars.
Cool. Can you guys all hear that, Ron?
That we produce.
Yeah, we can hear.
Good.
This is
Okay.
a kit.
Okay.
But this is the proper gravity outlet for the car. So it matches this picture.
Cool beans.
All right. This is my next car.
That's your next car.
Really what we do, our real business is custom painting and custom building.
Cool. Good.
This is my next car.
Cool.
The artwork is already done.
That is
And
nifty.
then after that, I did this
And then after that is that one.
for that.
Looks like a cross between the SP and the Great Northern.
It's a Southern Pacific
Well, I mean,
car,
it's
but
got the
it's
Ram
the
on
same
there.
artist. It's the same.
Oh, it's the same artist on both.
Aware.
Oh, cool.
He signs a tags all his stuff. Aware.
Cool.
This is my friend Butch Hiller.
How you doing,
This
Bruce?
is his cars.
Hey, Butch. We're talking to Louisville, Kentucky right now. So I'm down here having fun in the sun, and they're all thinking about shoveling snow, man. Say what?
I'm gonna make it more fun for you guys.
What's that?
Because it's nice and warm outside,
It is.
and they're probably got about 20 degrees.
I don't even think it hit 20 yet. So Butch, tell us about what you got here. We were just looking at all the open loads and the awesome weathering here. Severely weathered. Is that what you like? All right. Cool stuff.
Beat them up.
Beat them up, abuse them, but not so much they can't roll.
Yeah. No, I try to. See the bulges on the side.
Yeah, I think I get the angle. Hopefully you guys can see that. There's some bulges on the side. It's just not flat.
Yeah, we can see
Remember we
it.
talked. Yeah, we talked about doing that with the Arrowhead gondola.
That's here.
He's got one.
Right here.
And there it is.
That's the one I
Yeah.
I replaced the sides with the styrene.
So let me get this straight. You took a $60 model and replaced the brass sides with styrene.
You chisel along the support. What do you call that? What is that called?
The lip?
Yeah. Well, you know, I can't think what's called.
That's okay.
Chisel along, break the paint from the brass sides.
Mhm.
Pop, there's 3 pieces of brass, pop them out, cut that length of styrene, mark where the ribs are,
Mhm.
and then rub it with a end of a brush or
Mhm.
whatever. Push it through.
Sure.
And you get that look on the inside and outside.
Yeah, that is so cool. That's so cool. Flip it back up again. One more. Yep. Awesome. Awesome stuff. Yeah. Well, thanks, guys. I'm gonna move along. I'm gonna take a shot of your.
I'm gonna show you one more thing.
Okay.
This is the next- this is another-
Thanks, Butch.
This is another thoroughbred project.
Okay.
Okay, these are going to become these cars. These two.
There.
Light-wise, maybe you don't need
It actually gives a glare, but thank you. It was a good thought.
And these are, this is the after bathtub done,
Mm-hmm.
but we've extended them. We produce these kits. And we produce each style of extension kit.
Okay.
All right, to match the proper part.
And those cars with the extension were used for what?
They're used for trash, construction debris.
Okay.
Trash is big
A tall
business on
gondola.
railroads these days.
Yeah, yes, that's true.
All right, they profit from other people's trash.
Cool.
Right? And transport. So we got both Atlas and after versions of the car.
That's way cool.
So those kits are available.
Cool. Let me do the business card here. And what actually happens is
This
after.
is
Oop.
BNSF gondola.
Mhm.
My associate put in auto rack loading.
Mhm.
Who's auto rack with it? Or frame?
That's I forgot the name of the company that built. It's an older company. I found the kit. They used to be available. I don't know, J&J.
That sounds right. That
I
sounds right.
can't
Yeah.
remember the name of the company. I'm sorry about
That's
that.
okay.
I shouldn't have let him throw the box away.
Where's this gonna be?
Well, right now we're live talking to my division in Louisville, Kentucky. And eventually what will happen once I get back home and produce it, it'll be out on our YouTube channel. No. Hang on. My NMRA division. Hang on. Now I've got a card in here somewhere. Got so much stuff in my pocket right now. So Indy Junction is the convention that's coming up in Indianapolis soon. So the website is on there. Go to the website. There's a link on the left for YouTube and so forth. But if you get one of those, I can take. Okay, and then I'll send him an email. Okay, and tell you guys when it's out there. But yeah, that's okay. Oh, okay. Well, then check in about a week. It'll probably be out there. All right, I'm going to move on. Thank you. Hey, thanks for sharing, man. That's great. Yeah. All right, guys, going to move on here. And Mr. Frank Crone would be excited to see all these open loads over here. I'm sure. And I'm kind of scooting along here, but
Plenty of time, Fred.
say what?
Plenty of time.
Okay, I'm sure. You got that card? Thank you, sir. I'll send you an email when it comes out. Yep, I will. All righty. Well, that was totally unexpected, but that's good. So Ben Bartlett, and it says, please don't touch, as though I would. So some super, super, super detailing on these cars here, guys. If you know me, you know I love cabooses and all the details in here. Love this little eerie Lackawanna car. Yeah, Steve, you know, we're doing this kind of on the fly with my iPhone. If you'd like to buy me a stabilizing camera, I'd be more than happy to use it, though. And I believe that's the scratch built Penn Union there. Okay, if there's something you see as I'm going by here, you wanted me to zoom in on or spend some time with, I'll be more than happy to do that. All right, so Little Penn Central action going on here. Actually, there's quite a bit of Penn Central action going on right next to us here. I'm going to come around the other side here in a minute. You'll get another shot of this flanger. But, some gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous work here, guys. Just like, wow, stuff going on. So, too bad Mr. Hatter's not on the call. So, because I am sure he would be ridiculously excited at seeing this maintenance of way equipment. It's some of the best I've seen around. Just really, really well detailed. And yeah, I know that that outside mirror is off. I didn't do it. I wasn't there. It didn't happen. So, yeah, a little bit there as well. All right, we move around the corner here. This is for Barry, even though he's not here today. So talk about the modeling notes on this Santa Fe car. And again, you know, one of the things I found by sitting through these clinics with these guys is that they don't do a lot of scratch building of the cars themselves, but what they'll do is take off the ends, replace the ends with exactly what it was on the prototype, and they'll spend a lot of time working on the underbody and the roof. And I'm not saying they don't at all scratch build the sides, but that seems to be less frequent than some of the other things, especially those ends on these. And I just can't do it justice here, but you can kind of get an idea of the detailing that they're doing in there. So, all righty. I promised I'd go around here and take a look at the other side of this one, just so you can get a little bit better view of this flanger. I think Russ needs one of these, don't you, Steve?
Yeah, I've threatened that from time to time. It could happen.
Just the details, just amazing to me. The workmanship is just all over it. All right, I'm gonna scoot along here and jump to the other side of the aisle, show you a little bit more about what's going on here, and again some Penn Central maintenance of way equipment.
Hey, Fred.
Really? Yes, sir.
You can go back there and put that one in your pocket, and Steve will change it to New York Central.
You know, Russ, I'll ask him how much he wants for it, and then you can send me the check.
Okay, sure.
Sure. Or make a mortgage payment next month, one or the other.
Or yeah.
So, and I'm looking at the detail on the doors here, and I'm going, holy moly. And the thing is, it's like every step in here is the same thing. Like, oh man, oh man, oh man. You know, I am not a huge passenger car guy, but I did sit through the clinic with the person who talked about doing this set of Lehigh Valley cars back here, which, you know, just totally not like me to sit through an hour-long clinic on passenger cars, but it was absolutely fascinating what he did to create all these passenger cars, kit bash, and some of them, honestly, a couple of them were so kit bashed that I'm thinking, why didn't you just start out with sheet styrene from scratch, dude? It would have been easier in the long run. But anyway, well, let's scoot around here, take a look at a few more, and then I'll take you out to see some of the vendors. Again, some Pennsylvania stuff here. So Mr. Tipton, I know this is not a caboose. It is a cabin car. I do realize that. But nice workmanship here. So remember, Indy Junction is going to have the 3 NMR regions, Midwest, North Central, and Mid Central, and then the RPM guys will be with us as well. And for one price, you get it all up there for 4 days. So I thought it took me a while to figure out what in the world that was. I could not figure it out. Then I finally turned my head sideways and went, oh, it's a landing craft on its side. That's what it is. Way cool. So anyway, And
Hey,
all
Red, back to your left is I think it looks like a Penske electric P5.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, those are
Oh, no, Steve, it's not a P5, it's P5A.
oh, excuse me, P5A. Yeah, there's a lot of debate about what color those handrails actually were. I did one for Bobby Halls in Dallas one time. It was a brass one, and trying to figure out what color those handrails actually were was a well.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with whatever they painted it. Yeah, again, some just amazing modeling work here on all counts. Just awesome stuff, I think. So, all right, I'm
Yeah,
gonna scoot around the back here. What was that?
I've seen pictures that make the P5A handrails look metallic, like aluminum.
Yeah.
I'm not
Then you
saying
got
that's
this set.
true, but
Then you got
pictures
this
look
set back
like
here that are,
that.
body colored. The really grungy Pennsylvania red. Yeah, just amazing stuff. Yeah. All right, let me scoot on here a bit. And again, if there's something that you see that you want me to stop and spend some time with, I'd be more than happy to. I think we still have a little bit of time, especially since we only have 2 presenters today. I always have to stop and look at the cabooses, you know that. You just have to deal with me. That's the way it goes. You could have come down here and done this yourself. That is gorgeous. Absolutely. Yeah. So when I came in, they gave me a stack of tickets, and I didn't know what they were for. Well, I kind of figured out that they were for some kind of drawing, but I didn't understand it. And I was looking around. I finally went back up the registration desk and says, "How's this work?" It said, "Take a ticket and put it in a bag." And then tonight, starting at 10:30, they called out, and it's basically just a raffle drawing. So there are a few things in the raffle. Wow, pretty cool stuff. Okay, last thing I'm going to show you before we go out and talk to a couple of the exhibitors. A couple of things here. Mr. Pena, Prawn Designs LLC, will make you custom boxes, which is kind of interesting. Interesting. He has his little mini business cards here as well. They're kind of cute. Anyway. And then there's these little guys here.
Hallelujah, Rock Island.
Ooh, Steve, I know you're just so excited. Did you leave a puddle?
Yeah.
I've been doing that for a couple of days now.
Oh.
Now, I did not know what I'm reading in the first paragraph here. The Rock essentially created the 44-ton locomotive corporation of Davenport Locomotive Works and Whitcomb. I did not know that. I think that's cool. Steve, how come you never told me that?
We just didn't get around to it.
Okay.
Davenport Locomotive Works was in Davenport, Iowa, and it was served by the Rock Island. So they were just being nice to a customer, I guess.
Cool. All right, let's wander out here then. Take a look real quick. I will tell you that the numbers here as of yesterday morning were 200 people. And they said that they normally get a big influx on day one of the full day, which would have been yesterday. Their normal is 275, and they're thinking that they're going to hit about 250 maybe this time. So the numbers are not down significantly this time. But talking to some of the other attendees who've been here said, yeah, there's fewer exhibitors than usual. Although, it's doing pretty well in here. So take you around a couple of things. We already know that Iowa Scale Engineering does all this. How do we know that? Because we were able to talk to the kids from Spring Creek, and they showed us that and taught us that. So that's kind of cool. I did not know that they had come out with all these different bells for crossings. Steve, which one is most appropriate for the SP? I know it's not the electronic one. No way. Would it be a Union Switch or a Western Cullen? Or would it have just varied? Western Supply? I don't know.
Well, I would lean to Union Switch and Signal because they everything else they had was Union Switch.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, they're asking basically somewhere between between 19 and 22 bucks a pop. That ain't bad for that whole circuit. Of course, you still got to get, you got to get something to detect that there's a train coming. You got to get the actual stand with the cross bucks and the lights and so forth. But it ain't a bad price for a standalone unit. And this is cool. Cicadas. Now he doesn't have that hooked up, unfortunately. Oh, maybe he'll hook it up. There we go. Thank you, sir. We're talking to Louisville, by the way. My guy's in Louisville. Can you guys hear it?
No, we can't hear it.
Oh man, hang on.
Yeah, I can hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ought to be able to hear that. So it'll run off a power supply or what kind of battery?
A 9-volt battery.
A 9-volt battery. Ron and I were thinking that I'd pick up a couple of these and put them somewhere at a couple of different places under Russ's layout, not tell him, and then put them on a timer where they just randomly come on during the day.
Consider it done.
What else? What would you like to tell my guys back in Louisville?
Oh my.
Oh my.
So you showed the scales, did you show them the bells?
I showed the bells briefly. Yep. I said the 19 to 22. And we decided that probably on my SP West Coast layout, that probably the union switch and terminal signal would be the most appropriate.
Okay. We got that. We have our green belt line, the green bins. We're running a promotion this month, 22% off green bins.
Oh
It's
man.
coupon code.
Okay. I'll take one of those with me.
Um,
And I'll tell you that eventually when I get back home, I'll download the video from Zoom, produce it, and go out on YouTube.
Okay.
So a little more advertising, dude.
Great. We have our culverts,
Yep.
various sizes, HO, O. I'm out of the O right now, but we do carry the O, and we also have S scale.
Okay.
One of our newest products is the Balin Corvette. It's a Quonset type structure.
And the price on that is $60. That's cheap at twice the price, guys.
There is a picture of it.
Yeah. Way cool.
We have our IR sensors down here.
Oh, that's right. So remember I said that the bells come just the bells. You got to buy the sensors and the stands, so forth. But
So this is showing the infrared detector. This is the below track version right there in the track. And this train goes over it. It senses the presence of the car.
yeah, cool. And the cost on that is
$19.
So $19. That seems to be common. So does the proto throttle go for 19? Oh no, it doesn't.
No, that's not quite it. We've got our motorman, which is a train shuttle controller.
Oh, yeah.
The train back and forth between two endpoints.
Yep. Perfect for under your Christmas tree, guys,
There you go.
or your shelf layout.
DC or DCC.
Yeah.
Does both. Comes with the power supply, the control unit, which has all the electronics and power electronics inside of it. Also comes with 2 sensors.
Cool.
And then, of course, we have the proto
The proto throttle. What started it all. Yep. Cool. So does anybody have questions? Anybody have questions for Mike?
How much do the proto throttles run? Hey, can you show me a shot of that again, Fred?
There's the proto throttles, and the cost on those
That's 482.
$482
Okay.
for one, Steve, not for both.
Are there any
Let me know when you
complimentary
get a
throttles
2-for-1
available
sale.
today?
Okay, wait a minute now. Say again.
Are there any complimentary proto throttles available today?
There is a complimentary proto throttle as long as you're standing here at the booth and want to play with one.
Got a sample.
That's it. But there's not a complimentary one that's coming back to Louisville, guys. Sorry about that. Any other questions for me? Any other questions for Michael?
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you, Michael. I'll show you one more thing here. If you guys didn't know about this,
Yeah, that's a side project of ours, the Railroad Magazine Index.
and I'm a huge proponent of this thing, and you guys will see this in my little follow-up article from this meet. Especially if you're a, I don't know what Kalmbach is calling it anymore, but if you buy their highest tier, you've got access to all their magazines, but you can't expletive deleted search for anything other than, oh, I want to look at May 2000. Yeah, but I'm looking for that article that Fred wrote back in 1981. Good luck on that one.
The other thing I'll say about
There's your
that
answer.
too is if anyone's a member of a historical society, Railroad Historical Society, and they'd be willing to get us access to those magazines, we're willing to index them.
Oh, cool.
So,
Cool.
we won't put the magazines online, obviously, but we'll index them for you and then point people back to your website or whatnot.
Do you have the L&N group yet? L&N, Louisville National Group?
Nope.
They're right there.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then let me see who else is online. We've got someone from New York Central Group.
There's like Line South I saw.
Okay.
There's a few I'll try to contact.
Yeah.
See if they're
And you got to get the SP guys in there. Good luck. All right. Thank you, man. Good stuff. We'll see ya. All right. Wandering around here and live in it going to Louisville, Kentucky.
Whoa.
Louisville, Kentucky. That's right.
The capital of Kentucky. To pronounce Louisville or Louisville?
I pronounce it Frankfurt.
Very good.
Because I've pulled that on other people as well. Well, they may be the only one. That's right. So, all right. So we've got a dealer here from where?
Lufton, South Carolina.
Lufton, South Carolina. All right. All sorts of neat stuff here, guys. Pretty much what we would see at one of our local shows as well. So, all right, we're going to move on. Thank you. You bet. You bet. So I'm going to scoot on here for a minute. And this is the Florida East Coast Railway. It's an N-Trak group. The first time I saw these guys was at the National Convention in Orlando a few years ago. It looks like we've got a blocked aisleway here, but I'll just wander around this other way and we'll see what's going on over here. We'll talk to the ESU guys. Now, I've already visited with the ESU guys. And for those of you who know I have a European layout, you know that I am just enthralled with that thing. This is talking to my division back in Louisville, Kentucky. We're having a meeting today and I'm live from Cocoa Beach, which is not quite the same as live from New York. And it's Saturday afternoon, Saturday evening. So this is Alec. Hey, Alec is manning the ESU booth. So can you run that little guy for us?
Yeah, I got to put smoke in it.
Oh, we got to put smoke in it. That's right. Oops.
Help, it's on fire.
It's on fire. I'm going to put my earbud down there.
Hey, Fred, I'll have to tell you about Cocoa Beach sometime.
Is that not just the coolest thing you've ever seen? Yep, the thing is getting in this way. All right, that gives you an idea. So that is actually a locomotive that is offered by ESU. But guess what? You can't buy it in the US unless you buy it from a distributor who imports from Europe. Oh man. And actually today you can't buy it anyway, because it won't be released until February, March. That's what I went online. I went online to look, and it's a neat little locomotive. There's a bunch of them out there that ESU in Europe is doing, along with rolling stock, passenger cars, what have you. It's about what did I say? Between $400 and $500. It looks like it's going to be. I think I need that for my little German layout that I have. Some of you guys have seen it, some of you haven't, but yeah. And then the other thing you're demonstrating is the throttle.
Oh, yes, we have the throttle.
If you guys haven't seen the ESU throttle, it's pretty cool.
Touch screen now follows the throttle position.
You guys see the throttle, the roundy part moving?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty darn cool. I love it. And it's Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. The buttons on the side are fully programmable, so they can be the horn or anything. I had this one set up for direction change.
Okay. Oh, okay. I see. Yep.
That one's for F1.
And this will interface with.
Well, we use this with our cab control system,
Mm-hmm.
but if you have one of the Filter Tracks systems with the Wi-Fi thing, engine driver. We work with engine driver, so their app will work with the knob and everything, the ditch tracks and the NCE Wi-Fi system.
Cool. Great. As long as I can, yeah. Cool beans.
What's
All
that
right, man.
retail?
Thank you.
What's that retail for, Fred?
And the retail is
Tech guy, don't know.
tech
anything
guy,
else.
dude. Ron, you'll have to look that up for us. Oh,
We'll
by the
look it up.
way, if you need smoke, that's the smoke for that little engine. Thank you, man.
You're welcome.
We'll see you. All right, I'm going to walk around to the layout here, show you a little bit of what they got going on. So just a quick look. A couple things going on here. Oh, I'm good. Are you with this group? Semi. That's close enough for us. We're broadcasting live back to Louisville, Kentucky.
Hey, what's up, Louisville?
And then then this video goes on YouTube in about a week.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So tell us about the layout.
Okay,
It's N scale, right?
it's in scale.
That's video, obviously.
Obviously, it's in scale. It's done associated with the Florida East Coast Railway Society. Everybody that's in the layout is members of that. And it's really much various bits and pieces of the Florida East Coast Railway. We're standing at the south end here, Hialeah Yard, which is in Miami.
Yep.
And bits and pieces all the way through to the other side over there. The cityscape is Bowden Yard, and that would be Jacksonville.
Cool.
And most of the group's kind of here in the center part, so it's a little bit heavy representation of what's right around here in Cocoa.
Okay.
But this is the Medley Yard where all the rock trains originate out of Cocoa. I mean, that run up to Cocoa.
Okay.
And all the other rock for concrete aggregate. It's not ballast. Some people think
I get that.
Some people think it's not. It's for concrete aggregate.
Okay.
We have it depicted the big City Point Yard here in Cocoa. It takes about 80 to 90 cars a day, 5
Cool.
days a week. And it's all modular.
Yep.
It's originally based off T-Track, and I think it's kind of morphed into their own little
N-Trak.
N-Trak. Yeah.
N-Trak, yeah.
N-Trak. I think it's actually morphed into. It's not quite N-Trak specs anymore. But
It's morphed into a Florida East Coast Railroad
It's morphed-
Society standard.
yes, I believe so.
All righty. Well, thank you, sir. We're going to go take a quick tour around here then.
No problem.
All right. Thanks.
Don't forget. And right now it's not running, but
I see the station. Yeah. So big old right. How close is that to the West Palm station? How accurate is it to the West Palm station?
the gentleman that built that, Austin,
Mm-hmm.
he's the roaming rail fan on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
Look him up.
Yep.
He actually had a set of the blueprints for the West. It is based off the blueprints for the West Palm station.
Cool.
Obviously,
Obviously compressed.
I don't know if he compressed it
Oh,
that
really?
much, but it's just a little bit compressed. But some of the things that are wrong, they changed the color of the flooring. It was originally supposed to be blue, and I think it's gray now.
Oh, well.
So these little things like that got changed, but
Love that escalator in there. Oh, yeah.
and
All right.
this is only a small reference. We're
sure.
probably a third of the layout.
I saw this layout at the National a few years ago. I know how big it was then. So
It's gotten bigger.
I'm through. All right. I'm going to move on. Thanks, man. All righty. I'm just going to do a quick walking tour here. Try not to blur it too much as we go through here. Some good work here, guys. I know it's not a Connie, but I still like that billboard. I think it looks pretty cool. And this is one of the things I really liked about this layout when I saw it at the National. You've got this main line going through here with this industrial switching, and unlike most industrial switching that you see on any layout, it ain't parallel to the edge. I love that. Now, look at that. All right, moving right along here. And this is that other side that he was talking about with all the gravel and aggregate and so on and so forth. It's pretty darn cool. All right, let me scoot out of here. And we're about done. I'm going to just walk back around this way. The L&N Historical Society is over here. Oh, look, we're looking at the bay window caboose. Yeah. All you L&N guys need one of those. Trust me, you do. All right, I think that is going to wrap it up. There's some regular old vendors that you normally see at a train show, although all of this is from Bill Wright's estate. If you know Bill Wright or you know of him, and it's actually being sold on behalf of the family. So that's kind of a nice thing that that they're doing down here. Okay, we're gonna stop by real quick. I'm gonna harass Shane for a minute. Say hi to Louisville, Shane.
Hello, Louisville.
Thanks. All right, we're gonna get out of here.